Alright, so if you've been following the channel, you understand why I watched this movie. So I watched Zombies for Dawn of the Vampires because for some reason it's got a tagline. I watched it because during the 366 days of movies, I watched all of those Zombies movies for the first time. And I gotta admit, I enjoyed them a lot. And so I had to check out Zombies 4. So I did, and guess what? I also enjoyed this one a lot. Let's just break it down. It is a story about, like, it follows our core group of Zed and Eliza and Addison, plus Willa, who was introduced in the second one, as they are in college, but now they're on summer vacation and they're about to go camping, and then all of a sudden they find vampires, daywalkers, and vampires. I am not even going to go into my rant about why they should be nightwalkers because, let's be honest, they're both vampires. So just calling one, like, it's the whole thing. Like, even if you're a daywalker, you're a vampire by technicality. So it's got to be daywalkers and nightwalkers. Just make it obvious and, like, balance it out. Also, like, just thematically, like, one of the songs literally has them singing, like, in the night you're in for a flight. Make it nightwalkers because then it works. But besides the point, the story is pretty simple. Like, the fact they're fruit. They gotta eat a blood fruit, and it's dried up, and they can't get the blood fruit anymore. So they had to go to a different place to harvest them, and they have to fight over the same harvest, and then challenges, blah 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 blah. So I really do enjoy the story for what it is, but I think that it would have worked better as a spin-off in the Zombies universe rather than a direct sequel to our previous Zombies installations. Just because a good majority of the time, our main group of Willa, Zed, Addison, and Eliza are just not important to the story. And they kind of feel shoehorned in there. It doesn't matter because the songs are dope when they're there. Like, their songs are cool, and they do have the reprises of some of the good songs in the Zombies saga, but they don't really feel necessary to the story. And I think it could have maybe benefited from having a little more drama in between the two characters, because literally it feels like they were shoehorned in like post or something, because they weren't sure if Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly would come back. And so, like, they could have easily just done it without the four, and just completely new cast and crew to then take it up a notch. Story is pretty good, but like I said, it's got its issues, or they could have done a better job of, like, integrating them into the story, because they just sort of feel there but not important, even though, like, they are important. Besides the point, I'll give the story a Hot Pocket score. Now let's talk about the only thing that matters when it comes to a DCOM musical. The music and the dance sequences. I do think that this has some of the less cringe-worthy song and dance routines of them all. I do really like this one. I don't know why I like this one a lot more than the others. I do like the music in this one, but the dance sequences also don't upset me as much as the other ones. It's just fun time and enjoyable. So it's got good music. I do think it's got consistently a great soundtrack and ranks higher than the others, but it's got no Someday or Exceptional Zed like 1 and 3 do, which are my two favorite songs of the whole series. But it does have a really strong catalog of music in the original soundtrack, so I'm going to give it a hand grenade score. Directing, I think Paul Hohen does a good job, much like he did with all the other ones. It's very well done. The movie really flies by. These are like perfect turn on in the background movies to just have on, and then every once in a while they'll catch a little catchy song and you'll start singing along and you'll be like, yeah, someday this could be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, real fun time. I do recommend. Hand grenade score there. Acting, I thought the performances were all pretty solid. From our two new leads, it's Freya Sky and Malachi Barton. I do think they do a pretty good job with their roles. And then, of course, there's Milo Manheim, Meg Donnelly, and them. And I thought they did pretty well, too. But like I said, they weren't as needed. And so, yeah. Overall, hand grenade score for acting, just because they also sing. And They do good job singing. Good enough jobs. One of them is actually, I think Freya Sky is like actually a singer and not an actress, so maybe that helps a little bit with hers. She did sound very different from the rest of them. But yeah, expectations and experiences about my expectations. It actually kind of surpassed them because I was expecting not this at all, but it was really fun and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm going to say that this is a hand grenade movie, but this is definitely a hand grenade movie that you turn on in the background when you're doing other stuff and you just kind of want something, you want some background noise, and this is going to take up 88 minutes of your time, and it's going to have some catchy music. And my favorite part is definitely how I was joking about what monster they're going to do next, and then the end literally shows up with that exact monster. And how this is twice in a row now that I've predicted what monster is going to be in the next movie without watching the movie. I'm just like, at the end of Zombies 3, I'm like, man, they haven't done vampires yet. Maybe they'll do vampires next. And then all of a sudden, end credits, vampires, boom. And I'm like, oh, great. I also do really like how they tease what monster is next each movie. That's always really cool. But yeah, overall, hand grenade movie. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below your thoughts and opinions on Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. If you've seen it or now you're planning on seeing it, which I'm going to be honest, I'm surprised if you plan on seeing it now. Or if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, I'll leave you guys to it. Till next time, bye.